Independent evaluation is a vital tool for understanding student learning. It refers to assessments and reviews conducted by organizations outside of a student's own school or district. National testing bodies, university research centers, specialized educational auditors. Their primary purpose is not to replace the day-to-day work of teachers, but to provide a separate, objective measure of academic progress. This outside perspective gives us a clear and unbiased picture of what students truly know and can do. It acts like a mirror held up to the education system, reflecting its strengths and weaknesses without the inherent biases that can exist within any single institution. This process is essential for building a system that is transparent and worthy of public trust. The importance of this external view cannot be overstated. While teachers possess deep and personal knowledge of their students' efforts and growth, an external evaluator, however, applies a consistent standard to all students, regardless of their background, regardless of their personality, regardless of their school environment. This neutrality is the bedrock of a fair assessment system. It ensures that a grade or a score means the same thing in one part of the country as it does in another. Parents, students, the public, this consistency provides confidence that the educational outcomes being reported are both reliable and meaningful, creating a shared understanding of academic achievement across diverse communities. Consider the alternative, an education system that relies solely on internal assessments. While such assessments are crucial for guiding daily instruction, they can vary widely in quality and rigor from one classroom to another, or from one school to the next. One teacher's A might be another's C, This inconsistency can lead to what is often called grade inflation, where grades rise over time without a corresponding increase in actual learning. Independent checks serve as a crucial anchor, grounding the entire system in a common standard. They provide a necessary reality check that helps calibrate internal grading practices and ensures that the credentials students earn have genuine value and are recognized as such by colleges' employers. This external validation is not about catching teachers or schools doing something wrong. Instead, it is about strengthening the entire educational enterprise. When an outside body confirms that students in a particular school are performing well, it validates the hard work of the educators and leaders in that community. It provides concrete evidence that their teaching methods and curriculum are effective. Conversely, when an independent evaluation identifies areas of weakness, it offers a clear, data-driven starting point for improvement. It moves the conversation away from blame and toward collaborative problem-solving, empowering schools with the specific information they need to better serve their students and refine their instructional strategies. Objectivity is the cornerstone of any credible evaluation system. Independent checks provide this objectivity by design. The individuals or agencies conducting these assessments have no personal stake in the outcomes of a specific student or school. They are not influenced by local pressures, personal relationships, or institutional pride. Their sole responsibility is to apply a standardized measure consistently and report the results accurately. This detachment is crucial for producing data that everyone can trust. When parents see results from an external test, they can be more confident that the information reflects their child's academic skills rather than the subjective opinion of a single educator or the grading policies of a single school. This builds a foundation of trust between families and the education system. One of the most powerful functions of independent evaluation is benchmarking. A single school, operating in isolation, has a limited frame of reference for its own performance. It can compare this year's results to last year's, but it cannot easily know how its students are performing compared to students in other schools, compared to students in other districts, compared to students in other countries. Independent assessments, because they are administered uniformly across large populations, make these comparisons possible. This benchmarking allows schools to see where they stand in a much wider context. It can reveal that a school thought to be high-performing is actually lagging behind its peers, or that a school facing significant challenges is achieving remarkable results against the odds. This external data also serves as a critical tool for validation. Schools invest enormous effort in developing their curriculum and instructional strategies, and teachers work tirelessly to implement them. Internal assessments may suggest that these efforts are paying off, but an independent check provides external confirmation. When results from a standardized test align with strong classroom performance, it validates the school's approach, builds confidence among staff, builds confidence among students, builds confidence among parents. On the other hand, if there is a mismatch, if high internal grades are not matched by strong external results, it signals a need to re-examine curriculum, rigor, re-examine grading standards, preventing the devaluation of academic credentials. The insights gained from these evaluations are also indispensable for shaping effective educational policy. Lawmakers and education leaders need reliable data to make informed decisions about where to invest resources, which programs to support, how to design curriculum frameworks. Independent assessments provide this data on a large scale. They can reveal systemic gaps in learning among certain student populations or in particular subject areas such as mathematics, such as literacy. This information allows policymakers to move beyond anecdote and ideology, grounding their decisions in solid evidence. As a result, policies are more likely to be effective and targeted toward the areas of greatest need, ultimately benefiting all students. Finally, independent checks are a catalyst for continuous improvement within the education system. The data they generate is not meant to be a final judgment, but rather a starting point for inquiry and action. When a school receives its results, it can analyze the data to identify specific instructional areas that require attention. For example, the results might show that students are struggling with fractional concepts in math or with analyzing nonfiction texts. Armed with this specific information, teachers can adjust their lesson plans, seek out new teaching methods, collaborate with colleagues to develop better approaches. This cycle of assessment, analysis, and refinement is the engine of educational progress. At its core, the push for independent evaluation is a push for greater equity. In any country, schools do not all operate on a level playing field. Some are located in wealthy communities with abundant resources, while others serve students from low-income backgrounds, who face numerous out-of-school challenges. Relying solely on internal measures can mask the deep inequities that result from these disparities. An independent check applies the same yardstick to every student, making achievement gaps starkly visible. This data powers advocates and policymakers, providing undeniable evidence of where the system is failing and showing where equal opportunity is lacking. It forces difficult conversations about fairness and resource allocation. For parents and students in underserved communities, independent checks can empower. They provide an objective measure of learning independent of a school's resources or reputation. A strong external exam score can open doors, admission to selective programs, scholarships, colleges that might otherwise seem out of reach. It lets students demonstrate abilities beyond local school limitations. That offers hope and a tangible goal for students who feel the odds are stacked against them, affirming that hard work can be recognized and rewarded. Independent checks are not a panacea and shouldn't be the sole measure of worth or quality. Classroom-based assessments, teacher observations, student portfolios, project-based work, each shows learning in ways tests do not. These internal measures guide instruction and reveal the student's journey. The ideal system doesn't choose between internal and external assessment. It integrates both into a balanced, comprehensive whole. The two types are complementary, each giving valuable information. We must value and support independent checks within the broader educational landscape. They support system integrity, not attack teacher professionalism. By providing objectivity, promoting accountability, ensuring fairness, and driving improvement, independent evaluations help build a stronger, more trustworthy education system. They give clear, reliable information. For the sake of students and society, independent checks are a tool we cannot afford to abandon.